Day 961. Just cleaned like crazy. The other day I cleaned my room, like top to bottom, got everything out under my bed, organized dressers, all that stuff, or storage bins. And then today went through the trunk of my car and my closet and just went through it all, threw a ton of stuff away. And then I came in my room and I pulled out this drawer that I have, and one of the books that is in there is The Purpose Driven Life. The crazy thing about this book is when I first got back from Bali and I was living with my aunt, didn't believe in Jesus at all, was into New Age, worshiping the universe. I went downtown to work at a WeWork office, and I came back on the light rail, and I walked up the stairs to go across the bridge to cross the highway, and there were like 3 or 4 people walking in front of me, and they get to the top and they go across the bridge, and then I get to the top, and sitting right there in the middle of like the walkway is this book. It's just laying there, just like this. And I like look at them, and it's like it was placed there perfectly. I'm like, how did they walk right past this? And I pick it up and it says A Purpose Driven Life. And I was like, all right, universe, this is a sign from the universe. And so I took the book and I started reading it. And I was not really into like purpose coaching. I had done it like I think once or something, but it wasn't like a thing for me. And so I started reading it and I got into it, and it was really good, but it talked about Jesus too much. So I remember reading like 20 or 30 pages or something, and I stopped reading it because I was like, oh, this is all about Jesus. I'm not into it. So ridiculous. That was like 4 years ago. And I was cleaning and I found the book again. And I've got so many freaking books. Like, it is ridiculous. I love books and I hate them because I just rarely finish a book. I read a lot of books, but I rarely finish them. I think I've got commitment issues. And so I grabbed this book and I'm just like, man, this would probably be a really good book to read, since I'm a purpose coach and I'm stepping out of purpose coaching to do group and build warriors of God and all this. And I'm like, it would probably be really good to understand purpose from a more biblical perspective. And so I grabbed the book. It is 329 pages. And I just put my finger on a random page and I'm like, all right, God, if you want me to read this book, like, make it undeniable. And I open up to chapter 26, which talks about growing through temptation. And the first thing it says is, every temptation is an opportunity to do good. Now, this whole fast that I did last week, like, my main goal, I had 2 main goals: to get closer to Jesus, and the main goal was to defeat the lust, was to like purify myself. And I've gone 7 days. Today's day 8 of defeating lust, and it's been awesome. And I really feel like it's starting to leave, and it's probably my greatest temptation. It's like lust and food are the temptations that just destroy me, but I think lust might be the one that is more powerful and more destructive for me. And it's crazy because last night I had this dream, and it is the worst dream that I've ever had in my life. It was the most like terrifying dream I've ever had. And when I woke up, it was like that moment of like, like, oh my God, I am so glad it was a dream. And what the dream did is it showed me Satan's end goal with lust, like how he plans to destroy people with lust, and what his end goal for all people who walk down the path of lust, what the end of that path looks like. And it was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. And to experience it and to believe that I actually did that, and to feel like I literally like felt like my life was over. I'm done. Like, it was the worst feeling of like dread and doom and regret and shame and guilt. And it was like the worst feeling I've ever felt in my life. it was devastating. I was like, in that dream, I was just like, my life is literally over. I just ruined my life forever. And it was the most intense dream I've ever had, the scariest dream I've ever had. Um, and I'm so grateful that I had it, because it's like God was showing me, here is Satan's end goal for lust. For every human being, here's the end goal. So it starts as something small and moves into something bigger. And it scared the crap out of me. I was like, wow. And it was so real and so vivid. Like I thought it was real. And when I woke up, I was just like so grateful. And so, that happened this morning. And then I turned to a random page, and it's Growing Through Temptation, and it talks about how Satan tempts us, and it talks about lust and sexual immorality, and explains, the difference between sexual desire and lust, and how to defeat it, and how to understand how Satan uses it, and all these. And I was just like, all right, out of 329 pages, all right, so I got to read it. Probably makes sense, The Purpose-Driven Life, and it's a book about Jesus and his purpose for us, so probably a good idea. But yeah, that was just crazy to me, and I was just thanking God, thank you so much. Like, I'm so committed to defeating lust, truly for the first time in my life, because it's so destructive, and to see the future of it and the ultimate destruction of it, like, it's like a road that leads straight to hell, and it's scary. And so that just, that took my seriousness to a whole new level, my conviction to a whole new level. So I'm so grateful that I experienced it. And crazy. So God is doing something. I'm going to do another 7 days of fasting. I got to 4 days last week, and then I ate the following 3 days. Like one meal a day. But like I want to defeat this lust. And I'm thinking about, I want to take on food, I want to take on all these ends. Like, I got to take on one thing at a time, and I got to defeat this spirit of lust, and I need to make sure that when it is gone fully, that I fill my spirit with something of God. The Bible talks about, if a demon leaves and you leave your house empty, it will come back with 7 more demons. It'll be 7 times stronger. And so the lust is leaving, but I can't just leave an empty space in my spirit. I need to fill it with more God, more purity. And so I'm fasting for the next 7 days, attempting to fast for the next 7 days. I think it'll be easier than the last 7, because I get to work this week, and so that's helpful. But just the last week, I feel like I matured by 10 years, like spiritually matured by 10 years. And I feel like I'm actually becoming a spiritual adult, which is a cool feeling, because I don't feel like an adult when it comes to being a human. I suck at adulting. Like, gosh, it's ridiculous. But I'm trying as hard as I can. And so I'm going to attempt another 7 days, and I just want to destroy this. And it's crazy, just like the last 7 days, like not giving in to anything, not watching any porn, like no masturbation, nothing like that. And just like keeping my mind as pure as I can, like when I go out, just keeping my eyes forward. And I haven't been perfect, but I'm trying really hard. And what I've noticed is my confidence is going up dramatically. Just like my confidence, my masculinity, my boldness, my assertiveness. And that's a really good feeling, because there's so much shame in pornography and masturbation. Like, there's just so much, you feel so ashamed afterwards. And you feel so weak, and it's just it's a horrible thing. And so I need to defeat this like once and for all, and I will. So this week is all about continuing to destroy that and making sure that I never fall into that again, because yeah, it's just been so destructive spiritually, and I don't even know the destruction, but when I had that dream, it's like, wow, now I see how the devil's plan for lust for everyone is horrendous. So I'm so grateful that God showed me that, as much as it hurt. I feel like it scared me straight, hopefully. So yeah,